Today, we start the afternoon session in Expodronica with one of the companies most representative in drone industry in Canada. SimActive is an industry focusing on forestry. And Simon Grandin, hello Simon.
Hello.
Hello. Simon Grandin is going to speak about the rapid processing of drone projects in SimActive. Simon focuses on providing advanced technical support for SimActive users everywhere in the world. Is it okay? Is it right, Simon?
Yes, it is.
And with a master's in photogrammetry, Simon's deep knowledge in forestry and GIS helps software users to achieve successful mapping projects with a wide variety of sensors, including multispectral cameras. So drones and photogrammetry is one of the topics he is talking about. Simon, the audience waits for you.
Thank you very much. So hi everyone and welcome to today's SimActive presentation. So today the topic of my presentation will be rapid processing of drone project. So my name is Simon Grandin and I'm the photogrammetry workflow specialist here at SimActive. So just a little bit of background about SimActive. So SimActive is a leading developer of photogrammetry software since 2003. We were first mostly specified into large frame and satellite photogrammetry. And then when the drone market came up, we adapt our software to the drone market. We are the first GPU powered with the Aero triangulation solution and DSM generation engine in the industry. This allows us to provide really quickly and rapidly accurate data with drone data, airplane data for photogrammetry. And also, SimActive and our product Correlator 3D continually innovating with our product with around 3 major releases per year and also many minor releases to help our customers, which are based in more than 100 countries in the world. We have military customers, government, and also blue chips partners that use Correlator 3D for all their mapping projects. So here's a bit of information about our product, Correlator 3D. So Correlator 3D is a universal workflow. We use an architecture. It's an architecture module scheme which works with drone data. We're compatible with any sort of UAV platform and also any sort of UAV camera, also from the multispectral camera that has many bands. Also, we can include aircraft cameras such as Ultracam, Phase 1 camera, scan film camera, and we can also provide a photogrammetry solution for satellite product from world-known satellites such as Worldview, Pleiad, ComSat. So all sorts of data can be processed within Correlator 3D. So here's a bit about the architecture of Correlator 3D. So as I mentioned previously, we have a modular architecture, which is breaking down into 3 major modules that has also their different add-ons. So the three major modules are the Aero triangulation, which consists of finding common features between all the different images to have a nice block of images. Then we're going to have the DEM extraction module, which allows the user to generate a surface model, point cloud, and as well extract the terrain model directly from this surface model. We also have an orthophoto module, which allows the users to ortho-rectify individual images and also create a seamless and color balanced mosaic for mapping purposes. With all those modules, we also have different add-ons. So let's say for the Aero triangulation module, you can do some type point editing, some ground control point tagging, or checkpoint editing also. We also have a strong module of DEM editing, which allows the users to get as much as possible accurate results and full control over his data for his edition of his surface or terrain model. Finally, we also have a mosaic editing module that allows the users to edit the seam line, also play with the color balancing of his mosaic to get really the best mosaic possible with the input data. Also, we have a module, a 3D generation module that allows to generate some textured mesh from the surface model and the input images that can be stored in the OBJ format for visualization purposes. As I mentioned, there's also other tools that you can use in the software, such as the GCP's extraction, so the user can tag some ground control points within his mapping project. This will give him better overall accuracy or better absolute accuracy for his mapping product. There's also a module for volumetric calculation if you want to perform some volume calculation from stockpiles, or also between two dates. So if you have one project at the beginning and one project at the end of the summer, and you want to compare the change of the volume, everything is possible with Correlator 3D. The software can be run within the graphical user interface, but we also have a scripting mode, and also everything can be run within command line, so it's highly automatable. So if you want to have a smooth workflow with continuous flow of data, everything can be scripted out from the project creation up to the deliveries of your output. And we also have a module of change detection if you want to see the changes between two different projects. We have a module of DM inspection if you want to make sure that the surface or the terrain model that was derived is highly accurate with ground sources that you have. You can also generate some contour from the terrain model. We have also a point cloud colorization. So if you have LiDAR data and you want to work also with imagery and colorize your LiDAR data, you can use Correlator 3D to colorize the LiDAR point cloud or photogrammetric point cloud with input images. And if you're working with forward band imagery where you have access to infrared band or other non-visible wavelength, we have a module of vegetation indices that can be created from the NDVI to the GNDVI. But what makes us really strong is that it's kind of a calculator of vegetation indices, so the user can really make his own vegetation indices based on all the wavelength band that he has. So now let's jump into the software, and I'll be able to show you a bit of the interface of Correlator 3D. So as we can see here, we have Correlator 3D. So when we develop the software, we try to have as much as possible a user-friendly interface. So it's kind of an intuitive graphical user interface. It takes really a few moments to get along with where the buttons are stored and how everything works. So first of all, I would like to take your attention to the top left corner here. So we have the two first buttons, which are open and close project. Then we have all our different modules, which I've just talked before. So we have the automated workflow, which is a module that allows the user with a one-button click solution to go through all the modules without any human interaction. So for people that are getting started with photogrammetry, it's probably a good way to start to learn about how to make map with UAV data. So the automated workflow is also fully customizable. So you can select the module that you want and also edit those different options. Also, the automated workflow can be used to generate some scripts. So if you want to get started with the scripting, our scripting options, you can use the automated workflow to generate a base script and then edit this script with your own parameters. So it can be a pretty powerful tool. Then we have also our typical architecture, which is breaking down module by module. So the user can really go into details in every module and then make sure that the parameters that he chooses are right for his type of project. So this way you'll make sure that you'll get the most accurate data possible. So it's a solution that can also be good for photogrammetrists who have a lot of experience with different mapping product from UAV or so large scale data. So we have all our different modules here. So we have first of it the Aero triangulation modules, which consist of trying of finding different features between the individual images. So the green dots are corresponding to all the input images, and those little white lines here correspond maybe to the link that the software found between the images. So now we have a nice and stable block of images, which from there we can extract different mapping product from the DSM, the DTM, and the ortho, or also the 3D models. So also everything is run also on the graphical the GPU and on the CPU, which makes us a software that's around 3 to 5 times faster than the other solution that you can probably find on the market these days. In the Aero triangulation modules, some ground control point can also be included. So we can see here, those little triangles that correspond to ground control points that were marked for this project. Also, we've tried to use a simple color scheme so the user can quickly detect if there's some anomalies with his data. He can really take a look at it and see what may be happening to his data at some point. We also have other different tools here, such as the type point editing and also the bundle adjustment. We have the user when it comes the time to play with the parameters of the bundle parameters. He has the full capacities to play with all the parameters, so he can select a different type of correction he wants to apply on the exterior orientation information, on the camera sensor, on the ground control points. If you're using RTK or PPK data, everything can be used within Correlator 3D. From this, there's also a quality report, a detailed quality report that's given to the user once the Aero triangulation is done. So it's a PDF report that states all the accuracy of your project. So you can quickly have a look on how well your project is accurate, and you can leave this to your customers as proof of mapping accuracy for your project. Then, once your Aero triangulation solution is found and you're satisfied with the solution, you can then generate some surface model. So as an example here, we will have a surface model that has been generated from this small UAV project. So Correlator 3D will generate a raster surface model, but also can generate a point cloud if necessary for the customers. But our mainly focus is raster-based surface model. From this raster base, from this surface model, actually, some addition can be done. Let's say if you want to keep the stockpile within your terrain model, so you have better accuracy for your ortho rectification. Well, the user can create some polygons as some exclusion zone and use those polygons during the terrain model extraction, which will give you something like this. So as an example here, we still have the stockpile in our terrain model, but we have an algorithm that's remove as much as possible buildings, trees, cars, and all those other elements. So it's kind of if you're doing a classic ortho from the terrain model. Also, as I mentioned, the software can generate a point cloud. So the point cloud will be stored into a LAS format, as we can see here. So we have a point cloud that's generated directly from the input images. Once the 3D data has been derived, the user can then extract some ortho photos. So let's say he can then generate single ortho photos. So for every input images, the software will will orthorectify the individual images. And from those individual images, then we will be able to derive a seamless mosaic, which is color balance. So this will be also stored as a GeoTIFF file, so it can be imported into any GIS software such as QGIS, Global Mapper, or ArcGIS. It can be saved as I said, as a GeoTIFF file. Also, the user has a possibility to edit those seam lines. So we have a pretty powerful mosaic edition modules. So the user can select the block of images like this, and then edit all the different seam line of the project. So quickly, just select one seam line and then move the seam line according of where he wants to have the seam line. Other features that we have is basically playing with the color adjustment, so you can enhance the final sharpness of your mosaic, which will give you the best look possible for your mosaic. And finally, the last modules that I've briefly talked about is the 3D model generation. So the Correlator 3D can generate a mesh from the surface model and texturize this mesh with the output with the input images. So as we can see here, we can see here basically the 3D models that has been texturized with the input images. So also a bit of information about Correlator 3D. So we have some unique benefits with Correlator 3D. We have a simple and user-friendly interface. So it takes really a few moments to get adapt with the graphical user interface. But also this interface is also really powerful because the user really have the full control over his data. It's not like a big black box with everything is hidden in the back. So the user can really play with his own data. You can process unlimited numbers of images on a single standard PC. So we have seen UAV project from a few thousand, maybe over 10,000 of images in some single project within Correlator 3D with really good time of processing. So again, we are GPU-based software, but also use multi-core CPU for many tasks. So this allows us really to get a really good processing time for our mapping to get your mapping product. So if you really want to get quickly information with your drone project, this is possible. We have a survey-grade accuracy with detailed reports. Everything is detailed into the quality report, but also we offer more details into more specific reports with your project. And everything can be highly automated with our scripting tools. So from the project creation to the delivery of your project, everything can be scripted out and run within command line. So you really have no worries of getting everything done within Correlator 3D. So just a little bit of background about production statistic that we can have for drone project. So here's an example of a project where we have around 300 images with a GSD of 3 centimeters and a 20 megapixels camera. We had a DM resolution of 15 centimeters and orthorectification and one time the ground sample distance, which is 3 centimeters. So here's a bit details about the drone statistics. So it took around 9 minutes to find common features between all the images and refine the overall solution of the Aero triangulation. It took 21 minutes to generate the surface model, which is around maybe half of the time of the whole overall processing. So between 1/4 of a half of the time should be allowed to the DSM generation, depending on the resolution that you're looking for. 0.5 minutes, so 30 seconds for the DTM extraction, which is really quick. It's our fastest module. And then around 7 minutes for orthophotos and 7 minutes for the mosaic creation. Also, those time can be brought down if you're using maybe SSD drives, which can have a faster writing and reading speed for faster processing time. So here, for a total of 300 images, we had 45 minutes for this processing. So it's easily possible to get the flight done during the morning, then come back to the office in the afternoon, get your mapping product done, do your QC at the end, and within a day you can fly your project, map your product, and also deliver your output to your customer. So Correlator 3D is really a tool where you can have really quick data when time counts in production. So just a bit of comparison with other tools. So processing of 300 images at 20 megapixel, it's around 45 minutes compared to hours for other competitors. So there's no limit of images. The control AT accuracy is full, so the user can really get the full control over his data and get as much as accuracy as possible. The DTM extraction is a really advanced tool, which can gives you a good accuracy also for the mosaic, since the mosaic depend highly on the surface or the terrain model that is used for the ortho rectification. And the editing capacities are fully extensive, so you can edit your surface, your terrain model, your mosaic. You can play with the type point. So all the modules have their different editing modules, which really get the user a fully controlled data. So fast processing, as I said, so everything can be run within the same laptop. It also can be processed onto a single standard PC, even if you have thousands of images. And also, what I just said before, so UAV can be flown, processed, and then delivered within the same day. When production time counts for you, Correlator 3D is there. So just to finish with some licensing options, so we offer a few different options. So we have trials options. So we offer a few UAV trial if you want to get started with Correlator 3D. We also offer free image processing for marketing purposes. Also, we have different types of licensing, from the UAV, the medium, the satellite, and also the full frame sensor. We have monthly, yearly subscription, so that's really a flexible option for the end user. And also we have permanent license, and we offer node lock and floating license depending on your needs for your mapping project. So again, if you want to get started with Correlator 3D, you can go on our website, www.simactive.com. You can also send me an email at sgrandin@simactive.com, or if you have any questions sales related, you can write an email at sales@simactive.com, and it will be a pleasure for us to help you out with achieving the best mapping product possible.
Thank you very much, Simon. But we have two questions from, I think it's the same person. I'm looking at my computer. He says, what kind of clients do you have in SimActive? What kind of companies contract you, and for what?
So we have here at SimActive, we have different types of companies. So we have companies that are in the mining industries, which their main goal is getting volumetric calculation, really precise volumetric calculation, because every centimeters counts. We have also clients working in forestry environments where they want to calculate maybe the height of the canopy, and they want to get more details about their canopy extent. the timber volumes, and also other elements like this. We have governments that are using Correlator 3D for planning purposes or for mapping purposes. So their goal is to deliver orthophotos and mosaic, let's say for future development in a city. We also have customers, military customers, all around the world. We also have small company where they're decided to get starting with mapping, with a mapping business where they do small surveying company, which use Correlator 3D for their project. So we really have a wide varieties of clients, but also here at SimActive we can offer processing services. So we have for UAV customers, we can, if you want to get started with data processing, we offer those types of services also. So I think, yeah, so we're rather have a large base customers and have different types of services.
Thank you. And Simon, the same person ask you, what are the real benefits? The real, he marks in bold letters, the real benefits of using photogrammetric in agriculture.
Well,
I think when he mean real benefits, I think time, money, probably.
Yes. So time and money are probably two goals, two good elements. Another thing with UAV is that UAV you can expect with UAV a really short spatial resolution. So you can quickly deploy your drone on the field and have maybe within a week 2 or 3 flights and really see the changes mainly weekly or bi-weekly. So this is one thing that UAV can use for agriculture. And also with those new multispectral camera, they're using some non-visible wavelengths such as the near infrared or the red edge that can gives you really much information about the water content of your field, the nutrient content of the field. So it gives you really a lot of information about what's in your field and where are the areas that maybe you should focus on, where there's maybe less, the irrigation is a bit deficient, or some areas where everything is good. So using non-visible wavelengths is probably a big gain with those agriculture, and it gives you really a good spatial resolution, so you can really see small details from your drone within to go walk in your field. If you have a lot of field, it can be time consuming. With a drone, and can be really cut down to maybe a few hours or maybe within some minutes.
Thank you, Simon. But I have one more question, and this is from my side. Last week I was talking with 2 companies in Spain, drone companies. One of them told me that the pandemic had affected the business, but the other company told me that we have to contract more people because now we are working more than in last February. So my question for you is, talking about photogrammetric with drones, how is affecting your business? Pandemic. How is pandemic affecting your business?
I think at the beginning it's mapping product was also a bit affected with the pandemic at the beginning, but now with some of the activities that are getting back to not normal, but they're getting started again, the deadlines are quite limited. So now the production really needs to get on going really quickly. So I think what we've seen is a market that's still pretty solid, because it's and by having maybe customers all around the world, the realities are maybe different from where you're looking at. Some areas are maybe more affected than others. So it's kind of we're seeing not a shift, but the requests are always coming from similar section within the same time. So it's kind of quite normal for us, but I think yeah. So I think it's quite normal for us.
Okay, Simon, it's a great pleasure for us, for Expodronica, to have your participation, and thank you very much. And I don't know if you have to add anything else. Is your final turn? If you have to thank.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you very much for your time, and I hope we'll be able to talk soon. So again, feel free to shoot me an email at Grandin@simactive.com or sell@simactive.com. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you for having me.
Okay.